So I am here back with DJ Keo. We are here to talk about virtual DJ. So I will say this about virtual DJ, and you tell me if you agree. I mean, I've been
Hmm.
playing around with it. I interviewed you, and one of the portions of the interview we spoke about like the top three DJ
Hmm.
softwares, and we included virtual DJ. And I think we
Yeah.
also agreed that virtual DJ is probably the most advanced DJ
Yes. Bar
software on the market,
bar none. It's not even
bar none.
close. Bar none.
Is not even close. But
Yeah.
I mean, why is it not the most used DJ software on the market?
I think there is a stigma about it, and based on the layout and how it looks, I definitely think that DJs turn their nose up at it and say, "Well, just I don't know, whatever." But like we were talking before, I gave the analogy of it's like in a Ferrari engine in a Honda Civic.
Right.
Like it is just super powerful. It'll blow anything over the road, but then you have to drive in it. And people are like, "Ugh, that's a Honda Civic." Like, but I can beat you though, but it's a Honda Civic. And the visual aspect of it and the interface and the styling of it, it's polished in the sense that it works perfectly fine. It works as advertised, exactly what you want.
Mhm.
It just doesn't look good.
No,
And there's no
it
way
doesn't.
around it. And so, for DJs who use it all the time, you got to stare at it. And I'm just like, everything looks so much better. Why? Why did they do this? I don't know. And I don't want to disparage it because, we don't buy DJ software or DJ gear to look at it. We buy it for it to work. And it does that job perfectly well. So I don't know.
Well, that's true, but I mean, okay, so we installed it, we checked it out, we've been checking it out.
Yeah.
One of the first things is when you install it and you open it up, then you sort of get this sort of look here, which is, you know, they have a default layout and then they have a few
Hmm.
others that are included. Can you see
Yeah.
the screen?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking at the screen now.
Yeah, so I mean, all of these, I don't know, they seem kind of flat to me. And
Yeah.
then there's one with where you have sort of like a turntable style with like a tone arm. That sort of feels a little bit like Algorithm's DJ app. So
Yeah. But
it
even
feels
their
weird.
DJ app looks more polished. Like I don't know what it
Yeah.
is. I can't put my word on it.
So I think that's for me. When I opened it up, it didn't feel like
Yes.
a DJ software. Like I said, the design felt a little flat, and again,
I
although
think
powerful, it was weird to me.
I think the issue is that it doesn't feel like a $400 pro DJ software that it is.
Yeah.
And I think that it's the perception of it is the problem, which I mean, it's a terrible thing. And probably the only way for them to solve it is to do remap it or refresh it and change the name. That's it.
It's like
Because
name
like you
change.
keep it, you keep the exact same thing as it is, like the underworkings of it. So the code and all that stuff, you keep the same. Just polish it up a little bit with the visuals and just change it virtual something else. It doesn't have to be DJ, but it's virtual something and repackage that. I think people are like, hey, let's check this new software out
Yeah.
because there's nothing wrong with it. And so that's why, like, I when I looked at it, because I ran it through an S9. I have an S9. I have a Native Instruments Z2.
Mhm.
Both of those went well on that. I had no issues. There was one thing that I noticed that something that you would only notice from using the Z2 for a long time to the how you use it, like with the scroll wheel and the shift. It's a personal thing that if you are a Native Instruments person, you would know that there's this little trick to do stuff. So those
Mhm.
kind of things they didn't MIDI map that, but just the basics of loading and EQs and all the stuff that all works perfectly. S9, I didn't have any issues. I did it SX3, and then I have a little Hercules, little dinky type controller you throw in your
You
bag.
have a Hercules controller. Oh.
Yeah, a little tiny one. It's adorable.
But But you know what? But they're built really well, though. I must admit
Yeah,
about
they
those
are.
controllers, you know.
Yeah.
But that's also a French company, isn't it? Hercules?
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, Virtual DJ is also a French company.
Mhm.
You know what's weird about, okay, so you were using the XS3 controller,
Mhm.
Pioneer DJ controller. I was using that as well. I noticed
Yeah.
that when I, obviously you download the drivers for Virtual DJ. I
Mhm.
mean, it works with, I don't know, over 225 different DJ controllers and MIDI controllers. I mean,
Yeah,
who
right out the
does that?
box. It's
Yeah,
incredible. Just right out the box. You don't have to think about it. I wasn't all the stuff in my house, I wasn't worried about it not working. I just assumed it was going to work,
yeah.
which is you only think about that. That is incredible. I don't
It
think there's any other DJ software that can
No,
proclaim that.
no, there isn't. I mean, this is the most advanced DJ software on the planet.
Mhm.
It works with every single controller you can think about. It works with that controller. I
Yeah.
did notice though when I plugged up the when I had the S3 SX3 working, the
Mhm.
default for the effects was just the single effects, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
it uses their thing, the internal thing from a virtual DJ.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, but you can go into the settings and, change that. But I wonder why the default is single, opposed to having like just three effects like you would normally have. And you have the ability to control three effects right on the
Mhm.
SX3 anyway. Why is the default like single? That's a little
I
weird
don't
to me.
know.
Mm.
That
There,
I'm not sure about. I think we
mhm.
probably have to talk to somebody about that. I think they kinda wanna dumb it down and not overwhelm you because, like that kinda stuff with the effects, that's advanced type things that DJs use, and a lot of DJs don't even bother with that section of the controller, when you think about it. There's
I
a lot of
mean,
DJs that do not use effects at all,
if
outside
you're
of, like, the, echo thing and some reverb,
I mean,
maybe.
I think a lot of the sort of like dance music DJs, we use effects.
Mhm.
We love effects. I mean, that creates transitions for us. It
Yeah.
creates atmosphere and it builds up things. I mean, that's definitely something
Mhm.
we use. I have the effects page right. I mean, I'm sorry, the features
Mhm.
page right here. And dude, look at all this. I
Yeah.
mean, you have every single thing possible here. Um,
Mhm.
and something else I read that was really silly. Well, not silly, but just a little bit overwhelming. I was talking to the virtual DJ people, and they were
Mhm.
sending me like some of the features as well. And
Mhm.
one of the things he sent me was that you can create up to 99 decks on this software.
Yeah.
Like, dude, wait a minute. You
Yeah.
okay? So you have controllers that can do four decks, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, and some DJs back in the day used to rock six turntables, vinyl.
Yeah, it was a huge deal.
Yeah, um,
Yeah.
but 99 decks.
It
But
is
why?
wild because you can. I think the answer for virtual DJ is because you can. And, that's been the selling point for people. I equate it to how Android was before when they're fighting with Apple in the early stages. Android was the kitchen sink, and Apple was, we're going to do this thing straightforward. You can't copy and paste. You can only have your four apps on your or six apps, or whatever the thing is on the screen, and that's it. And that's the best we can do right now. And we're going to make sure this thing is perfect. And virtual DJ is like, because you can, you want to stream this over here, you want to take requests
Mhm.
online and have it pop up on your screen. Let's have a request app for your virtual DJ. Let's do that. Which is
Right.
that is awesome and also crazy. Like, but
And
it's because you can.
right. And I think the other thing, one of the other features you can do is you could actually you can stream with this software out the box. I mean, you don't even need
Yeah.
anything else. You don't need a streaming software. You can stream right to Facebook, Periscope, Twitch,
Hmm.
right from this software from our virtual DJ. Now that is pretty amazing as well, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's so I don't know. I mean, I mean, you can do video out of here. I mean, you can do all types of crazy graphics in here. I mean, obviously, you
Mhm.
spoke about the skins. This thing, the one of the other features, and who knew?
Mhm.
But one of the other features is this thing plays up to 227 different file formats. I have one question
Exactly.
for you. Why?
Because you can. That honestly, that's the answer for everything. This whole
Mhm.
entire video, I'm just gonna say because you can. Like outside of
I'm setting
MP3
it
and
up though, for
MP4,
real. Mhm.
well, there's like Wave and FLAC, like that's pretty much all you need. And they're
Yeah,
like
exactly.
more. They just said more,
Like all these,
which
I
is
mean,
it's
you can use
incredible.
karaoke files, you can use, I mean, just any and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. And I think because they cover all of the bases, it kind of I wouldn't say like it's a jack of all trades type thing, but they have polished all of the little things. So the basics of mixing and all those things, they polished that. All that works smoothly. I had on my Z2, I put Serato control vinyl on there on one deck. I had Tractor control vinyl on the other deck. It picked up both of them and played both of them like it was normal. And I'm like, this is not this is not something you expect from a DJ software like this because
No.
everybody is trying to keep it proprietary
Yep.
and
Yep.
keep you forced into their
Hmm.
walled garden. And these guys are just like, screw it, whatever you want, we'll do that. Now, I do like the overall package and stuff like that. I don't like the skin system on it because what I find is most of the skins are just variations of a controller
Yeah.
or a turntable type thing.
Right.
I don't need
Hmm.
that. I have those.
The
It
other thing
feels
was,
like, oh, good.
I was going to say, the other things with skins is, I think for virtual DJ to put all of this sort of
Mm,
R&D into the actual software, and to,
mhm.
not own that eco market, that ecosystem of like skins, that's kind of weird to me. It's just like, well, dude, you have all this, you have the most advanced DJ software
Mhm.
out there. Why not also own, not control, but control the,
Yeah.
ecosystem of skins? I
Like,
mean,
you could a little bit more quality control in some of this stuff. They're not
yeah,
a lot of things in there, they're just not good. They're
yeah,
really not good. And, like, I basically said, "Okay, I don't like how this looks. Let me try something from the skins thing," and I don't like that either. And, what I ended up with was there's on the tab, you can go down to the pro version of it, and I tried to get rid of as much stuff as possible. So I got rid of the turntable type things and just had the circle with the line through it and the information on it. And then I tried to get rid of the pads and that kind of stuff and just eliminate some of the clutter off the screen. And I got to the point where like I like this is fine. This is okay here.
hmm,
Like I'm happier with how it looks versus what comes out the box. I wish you could kind of take down some more stuff too. Like how in a record box you can remove the thing that little section where it gives you suggestions. You can get rid
yeah,
of that.
hmm,
You can pull back some of the file feature stuff, or the
yeah,
file selection stuff. You can kind of pull that back and make it
right,
simplified. And I
hmm,
want virtual DJ simplified,
yeah.
and I think that would probably make me happier, and maybe make it a little bit more 3D. I guess
Oh, yeah,
it's too
please. I mean,
flat.
because like, again, it's so flat, and
Yeah.
the power that this software has, I don't believe how powerful this thing is. You said something else too. You said,
Hmm.
and no one else is doing this, because you're right. Everyone wants to be proprietary, but with virtual DJ, you can use any time coded
Yeah.
vinyl. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Whatever you
Tractor,
have.
Serato, Record Box, and obviously they have their own as well. Now that's pretty amazing.
Hmm. Yeah, like the fact that it automatically analyzes it and knows what it is. I
Mhm.
did have the problem with the relatively mode. I couldn't figure out how to turn it off. I was going through the sections of the
That's
options.
always a little quirky, though.
Yeah,
That sort of
yeah.
mode. Hmm.
because the thing is though with the control vinyl, because they're different, they're in different places.
Right.
So the Tractor one is like one large file, whereas the Serato one was little bits, and or at least the one I had that I put on there, and it was messing up because every 5 minutes or whatever it would end the song, and so I was like, "This is killing me." Every time I move the needle around, it start the song somewhere in a different spot. So I was trying to figure that out, and most of the other DJ software is just a button on the screen because it was designed for that.
Right.
And this is more of an afterthought tacked on. So these are the kind of things that I would like them to focus on the screen and remove the karaoke stuff. I'm never going to use the karaoke in my DJ software ever.
A lot of wedding DJs use this software, I hear.
Yeah. It's a huge thing for mobile DJs. I did an event I was doing sound for a company, and there's these guys, they're African guys. I think they're from Nigeria, and they threw their own party or whatever. So I was talking to the DJ, and he had the Newmark, the controller that had the motorized wheels. I forgot which one it is.
That is
N7 or something.
That thing is so heavy. We spoke about that too. What is that? I want to say
it's like a V7 or something. I can't remember
something
what
like that, Jim. It's huge.
So yeah, he had it, and he had a virtual DJ on it. And so I was asking him, why does he like virtual DJ? And he was like, it just works. And I was like, okay.
It just works.
All right. Yeah.
Oh
so
goodness.
like his argument was about, it handles all the file sizes and stuff like that. And I think that he kind of got into it because somebody else he saw had it, like another DJ. And I think that's a huge factor for DJs. Like, I've met people that had Serato, and other people who see Serato, and they're like, "Oh, well, I just got to get Serato then."
Yeah,
exactly. I switched from Serato to Tractor out of convenience because I like the Tractor X1, the little controller, and I like the idea that I can just take over any mixer and put that thing next to it, and it's a full-fledged Tractor controller. And so when I was doing a lot of mobile stuff and with places that already had gear there, and it just made it easier for me to just plug in the back, or Tractor accepted the thing and I just put it next to it, and I got a full Tractor mixer. So it was like a convenience thing for me. And then I just ended up really liking Tractor for a while, but I was like, Tractor's not doing the update, so Serato it is.
Time to go to virtual DJ.
Honestly, if I had used virtual DJ before that, I probably would be using virtual DJ right now.
It's so weird. It's so weird because with virtual DJ, it's like with all these other DJ softwares, right? You get it. You have your controller, whatever it is you're using. You install it. You fire it up, and it works, right?
Yeah,
it works. The thing about virtual DJ I realized is this is a software that they had some super duper geeky nerds, some developers, some programmers, and they were just typing away, coding this thing up. This thing can do any and everything, but they missed one in this whole process. When you're creating software, there are a lot of different elements you need. You need, obviously, developers and programmers, but the other thing you need are designers, right? And that's what they're lacking. They're lacking the design part of the whole software package because it's a flat sort of design. It's even though it seems like they're updating the features, but not actually the design. And so, again, if you're familiar with Tractor, Tractor was really cool because they gave you really awesome colors. Rekordbox 6, that new design looks really cool. Serato they just get it all the time, right? But virtual DJ, I don't know. It's just like the design it's a little weird to me.
So if you had to rank them, like, what do you think is the best looking DJ software out right now?
Well, let me say this, right? I actually use Serato a lot, just to DJ, just, again, I'm a mixer. I do a lot of, I mix a lot of dance music, So deep house. So I use that for Serato, even though Serato, a lot of scratch DJs use it, but I use it for, mixing as well. But I also use Rekordbox. And now that I have the XDJ XZ, I'm using Rekordbox a lot more because with Rekordbox 6, I could not use the SX3 because it's a Serato controller, right? It's just like, but it's your controller, right? But I think right now, I think Rekordbox 6 looks really good.
I think 6 is the best looking DJ software out right now, like bar none.
Yeah.
And I'll follow it up. I am biased to it. I like Tractor second and Serato third. And then virtual, I would say the DJ from Algorithm would be fourth. And
then really?
Virtual
the app or the desktop app?
The desktop app. I would say it would be fourth. And then virtual DJ at the bottom.
I was just looking at the controller page, right? All the compatible controllers. I'm not even a quarter way down the page yet. And this is just like everything. And I mean, it is ridiculous again, it's such an advanced the most advanced DJ software. I will say that again. Virtual DJ is the most advanced DJ software on the planet Earth, period. Once you open up the software, it's not a real easy way to turn on stems. Like for me, what happened was I started playing with DJ software, and then all of a sudden, like an EQ feature popped up, and that was how you turn on, stems, because it's based on you, using your EQ to sort of like, isolate different sounds, right? Vocals, things like that. But if you go into the options, which is like where the meat and potatoes are in terms of, just turning on things, you would think that you should be able to type in stems and that comes up, right? But it doesn't. And see, that's what I mean when you overthink it. It's like you're a programmer and you're creating something called stems, and you mean when I go into the options and I type in the word stems, that doesn't come up? No, because it's part of EQ, so you got to type in EQ. You're putting out like a feature called stems. Give us the ability to search the word stems, and then that feature comes up, so we can now configure that specific feature, but it's in the EQ.
Well, if you look at in the options section, there's a huge tutorial library to show you how to do things, like basic things. And you have to have it because it's not intuitive. It doesn't make sense where it should be.
Crazy videos, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot of videos to show you how to just do regular things that, for DJs, especially old heads who've been doing it a long time, they want to look at this software and be like, oh, I press this button here,
right,
this thing does that. And that's it. That's all they care about. That's all they want to focus on. And see, I don't think that they should necessarily remove features, but they should have a version where for what DJs, the main features DJs want, throw that there. Like, I don't need the karaoke. I don't need the visual lights effects and that kind of thing. I don't need the things for your, like we've gone through all that stuff, right? But like, I don't dumb it down. Give me the 4 paths for the cues on the same side. Get rid of the turntable thing. Have it more streamlined. Give me a more focus on the waveforms and a more focus for me to slide the wave back and forth where I figure out what part of the song is. A better design language for the cue points.
Yeah.
So like when I press a cue point, it should be obvious what part of the thing it is.
Right.
I can see it there.
Right.
It's in the area, but it's not directly on it. And these are the type of things that a DJ would be like, "Hey, I need this."
Yeah.
Rather than I think the design. And I don't know for certain if there wasn't DJs that were there helping them with the overall thing, but I don't think there's visual people helping them with the overall package for what it is.
No, these are DJs. I mean, like the owner is a coder. And so
you can tell
the owner, CEO, he's a coder, so he goes back and forth. And I was also just reading that this software had been downloaded over 150 million times. 150 million.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. I'm not
But
surprised.
you know, they also have a free version, you know. And the other thing, when you use the pro version, you have to log in to get all the features. I'm still not quite sure. They keep saying you can use like the free version and it's full featured or whatever, but you have
Really
to
knows
log
that.
in to use like you have to log in to use, you know, like the you know, the pro version. I don't know. It's just I really I like the software. I think
I
that they
do.
can do away with. I think the other thing, just to add on to what you're saying, right?
Mhm.
You know, the other thing is own your design. Get rid of the skins, right?
Yeah.
Own the design. Like you make updates to your design every time you have a release. You know, when Pioneer Record Box went from 5 to 6, there was a slight design change, and you know, it was sort of pleasing. It was just like the colors and everything were, I don't want to say soft, but they were not, they were soft on the eyes, I should say. And I was like, oh, this is something really cool about this software. And I kept looking at it, and I was like, this is a slight design, you know, change. They have to own that design and get rid of the skins. That's just an ecosystem that, you know, that's not a great ecosystem for you.